School is an institution of learning, whether it's elementary, high school, or college. School plays an important part in producing productive citizens in society. However, when a student goes to school and doesn't return home, this causes parents to become concerned. Today we're here in San Francisco to talk about what needs to be done to make schools safer.
What happens to kids, and I think their feelings are ignored, and just kids can be cruel, they don't realize it, and they ignore what's happening because they're caught up in their own stuff, and I think that's just it. And I really honestly don't know, if you're going to change some of these things that happen. I don't want to say it's going to keep happening, but part of it is just having the availability of guns to so many people.
I think that any sort of teaching of tolerance would be very helpful. Aikido is an example where you learn to let the other person's force go by you and you don't react to it, so you can take an insult and not necessarily have to react to somebody. I think we have a lot of overreactive media that makes people think that the first response is supposed to be retaliatory, and it needn't be the case. There's many different ways to handle conflict, to resolve it. So any sort of teaching of acceptance and understanding it, and allow somebody else to be wrong on their own and just go on with your own world. Now, we don't have a culture that really respects that. A lot of the movies right now that the kids watch, the first response is supposed to be come back and attack, and so if look at that as a different culture, I think it would make a difference. I think it would make a difference. At that age, I remember I was very reactive in high school. I would have been combative to some degree, but by having something else to do. So after school events, more coordinated school activities, and also an acceptance of just letting somebody else be an idiot on their own. And you don't have to change their mind. They'll grow up at their own rate.
More security, put more security. If it's in a bad environment that bad, then provide security, metal detectors. Because I'm from Los Angeles, so they have to provide those things at those schools. Because they're that violent to where they need police officers online. It's too bad to where the officers are carrying weapons, because children, they come up with guns. And
what do you think would make a student be so angry to where they want to come back to school and kill a teacher?
That I don't know. I would say he has real personal issues from home to his environment. The best thing I would say, you need to go get Jesus, but your environment plays a big part, because from home, like I say, you're raised by two people. You're raised by your parents, and then you're raised by the streets. There's so much influences that are pressures put on you from the way your parents are and your friends and the environment. So the environment you live in plays the part. If you grow up in a church environment, you're going to come out like that. If you grow up in a negative environment, you're going to come out negative. And by each one of us being different, each one of us is going to have a percentage difference of how far that negative is going to take us. I might only be 20% negative, but you might go and be 50%. He might be 100%.
Because they're not getting the weapons at school, they're getting them at home and bringing them there. You know what I mean?
So why do you think a student, what is it about a teacher you think that would make a student want to come back and kill the teacher?
I can't say I never felt that way, but I mean, people as human beings in general make other people angry. I mean, it could be any reason. The teacher being too hard on the student, pressure from other students around him, and like I said, once again, at home, you never know.
So have you already graduated from high school?
Yes.
And can I ask, what was it like? What was your experience like in high school? Did you see any of these kind of things happening, or what was your experience in high school?
When I was in school, it wasn't stuff like that going. I was more into sports and trying to stay out of trouble, so I ain't never experienced nothing like that.
I believe strongly they have to go back on prayers. I believe that it will be the answer for a lot of things that are happening right now in the school. And if everybody noticed that when prayers was taken away from the school, a lot of things started happening inside the schools, like gangs and, killing and all kind of stuff. So we need to go back and, to know there is a Lord that's watching us and we can pray. Because now they actually, and I just heard in Florida, they were going to put some people in prison, in jail, because they were praying. And prayer, we know prayer changes things. So I just believe that strongly.
So in light of the Columbine shootings, the shooting near Deer Valley and Antioch, today's question is, what do you think can be done to make schools safer?
Well, to make it safer, I guess they just need to really tighten up on security and really just know who's coming in with weapons. You know, I know in LA they have metal detectors in schools now, so I don't know if that make that safe, but I think it does. You know, it's because Columbine was really, it was terrible. I just hope it don't happen again.
Do you think that a student could be, do you think that that is just a harsh reality that a student could actually go into a school to retaliate, to want to kill the teacher? What do you think would make a student want to do that?
Well, it's bullies, I guess. It's just like growing up and the way they was treated, you know, when they was young. You know, people have, you know, a lot of people got issues and, you know, they need to deal with them. So I think they need to do a lot of counseling, you know, like individuals, you know, to really check on every student, see where their mind is at, you know, because they don't know where their mind is at. They come to class and, you know, bullies fuck with them and, excuse my language, mess with them and you know, they want to retaliate. I think they need a lot of counseling in schools to see where their mind is at because they got difficult issues at home, you know, with family and bullies, so they really need to get some counseling. That's what I think.
What do you think needs to be done to increase safety in American schools?
First of all, prayer. And when they took the Bible out of the school, America went down. Sadly to say, but it's true. This country has been blessed because maybe it's not everybody, but Jesus has been in our hearts, the churches. But now we have a lot of young people that have come out of drugs, alcohol, and they're serving God, and they're completely different.
So the responsibility lies within not only at home, but also legislation that can help to improve the condition of schools.
Absolutely. It's definitely primary responsibility of the parents, but the schools can get better. The problem is that the parents don't want to pay for it and they don't want to admit that they have a problem giving their children what they need at home, so they put it on the school system.
After discussing this sensitive topic with people today, we found that some say that the issue of increasing safety in schools starts at home with family values. Others say that people just need to learn how to ignore ignorant behavior. But ultimately, they say that the responsibility lies with legislation to improve the conditions of school. Thanks for watching this episode of Street Talk. Please post your comments at www.youtube.com/JadeOP. I'm Teresa Willis.